All right, so hey, what do we got today? Well, got my micrometer, and I figured I would, check my bevel angle here, and no, no, this is just a box from Starrett Micrometer that I had. What it is a little travel kit, and got a couple on the gurney in here. These are the two that I want to work with today. One's a Koma, one's a Tomo. I got this really nice Shobu in here. Got a little water on it. And have these two pieces in the Gura. This is a Koma. This is not, however, it is not an Asano piece. It is an ancient piece of Koma that was given to me by a polisher. It was a cracked stone that I cut little usable pieces out of, and you can see it's like kind of yellow, and it's got a really unusual earthy smell. It's really quite sweet. And there's a Tomo, is a piece of Nakayama Namito that I cut off of one of my large Nagura because I love it to death, and it goes well with the shovel. So anyway, my plans tonight are fairly simple. Turn that off. I'm going to do a little bit of a touch-up. And it's a touch-up. I'm going to touch up the edge. Now, I know that there's a little bit of drama out there about whether or not touch-ups actually happen. They do happen. If they happen here, I don't know if they happen anywhere else, but in my home, razors get touched up. Just going to do a little slurry honing here on some Koma slurry. Anyway, yes, it's all sharpening, and I guess at some level it's kind of like semantics, but, like when I go to get my hair cut and I don't want like a full-blown haircut, I'll get a trim. Now, technically, it's a haircut, but we call it a trim. Why do we call it a trim? Because I'm not getting a full-blown haircut, even though it's still a haircut. Just one of those things that people say, you don't have to make a big freaking deal out of it. It is what it is. Barber horns were made for basically touching up. Very, very hard substrate with a reasonably fine abrasive in it. And while you could say that every time you put it on the barber horn, the blade that is, that you were sharpening, and that would be correct, people who discuss these things would be more inclined to say it was just a touch-up. Because all we're really doing here is light bit of work. Now, I'm using a little bit of slurry, using a little bit of pressure. Probably more than I would if I had just jumped into this Koma slurry after Majiro. And they see me slurring again because I'm not entirely convinced I'm at where I need it to be. The stone is just lovely. It's Shobu Asagi. It's like a Mizu Asagi. When I got them, they were like dead on the money green, but after lapping off a lot of the top layer that had been completely oxidized, they turn like kind of a pale misty blue. So I call them Mizu. So anyway, touch-ups exist. Touch-ups happen. It's really a conversational term. Don't need to apply science to everything we do all the time. Or it's not even science. It's just being stuffy, This blade's a little weird. It's got this weird warp up at the toe. So getting to it requires a little bit of gymnastics. You might be picking up on that now. Got a little thing of water off to the side. All right, so I think I'm good there. I'll take this piece of namito. Turn that off, it kills the audio. Get a nice slurry. This particular piece I can slurry on any side, really. This rounded portion here is ideal for stones that are problematic, but this one seems to enjoy being slurried from any direction with almost any stone, with any Nagura, so kind of good to go there. And you notice I'm being a little sloppy, because, you're honing a razor, You're rubbing steel on a rock, okay? So I don't need to be all like Dr. Perfecto. So, yeah, I just made that up. So, do a little bit of honing here. Feels good to me. So why do we do the touch-up? Well, sometimes the edge starts to tug or pull, and that is usually the sign of it needing what I call a little bit more than a touch-up. My blades usually don't get there. So to talk in synth terms, that would be like going to an 8K, possibly the 5K, Now you got to remember, you've been doing some stropping, you've been doing some shaving. Geometry, the edge is not as perfect as it was when it was first honed. Hopefully you get to it in time where you can still manage it with a fairly simple process like this, or maybe going down to a coarser grit Nagura, or maybe going to a coarser grit synth, but it's entirely possible that you'll need to go down even further, and it is entirely possible that going to a 1K would make sense. It's not a matter of have to, it's a matter of whether or not it makes sense to do it. Faces of the bevel don't stay flat forever. It's a working tool. Steel suffers plastic deformation. You can see it under a scope. And you can feel it in stropping and honing too. Anyway, that's just about done. Just going to do a little bit of water stuff here. Yeah, that's, you can see that's like, it's not a parlor trick, folks. That's literally stuck to the stone. So there you have it, right? Quick little touch up, nice little Shobu, tight little travel kit. A little bit about touching up. It's all about having fun. Everything I put in these videos, just food for thought, folks. Don't take it as gospel. Get out there, hone your own. Always remember though, have fun.